Good morning, everybody, from sunny Wakayama City. I am on the beautiful castle grounds right now, and I got a little bit later of a start today just because I had some meetings in the morning, and I unfortunately wasn't able to make it to the big ramen shop that I've been hyping up, the one that's one of the top ranked in all of Japan. I didn't expect I would be in Wakayama this long, but not a bad thing, because what I'm going to be having next as we wait for evening to fall, since I missed lunch for the ramen shop I just mentioned, I'm going to be grabbing some sushi now. Wakayama has their own style of sushi, and we got a taste of that at one of the ramen shops, if you recall. But we're going to be enjoying just sushi, not ramen, for one of the meals, and that'll be happening right now as I walk through the castle here. Welcome back to 5 AM Ramen, your gateway to Japan's wonderful world of ramen. I'm Frank, and I'm happy to say that I eat ramen for a living. This is the second episode in a Big Kyoto Ramen series. I say Kyoto, and this is where we'll be doing the most ramen damage, but in the previous episode and in this episode, we're actually in Wakayama. Wakayama is an important ramen locale in Japan. But to sow chaos and confusion, I'm starting the day with sushi. And this isn't the sushi that you're used to. Nare sushi from this part of the country is, well, super stinky. The stinkiness comes from the fish being fermented via salt and raw rice. Think of this as an ancient form of sushi. It really does smell ancient too. We're getting nare sushi from Yasuke Sushi, a local Wakayama City spot that does takeout. Here's me eating this smelly type of sushi. Okay, and here we go. There it is. Wow, that is one funky taste. The rice is funky, of course the fish is funky. The whole thing just kind of blends together with that sour, funky fermented flavor. This is samma, or mackerel, but the flavor is so strong that I can't tell like whether it's samma really or something else, but it's interesting. I'm glad I tried it. I personally would probably do Edo style sushi more than anything. That's the standard around the world. But nare sushi, if you can stomach it, definitely give it a try. Okay, back to ramen, and we're visiting what might be Wakayama's most famous ramen shop. If you watched the previous episode, you might remember that I tried to go to this place when it was closed. I will now have my vengeance at Ide Shoten. Here's me rambling on about sushi and about the bowl of ramen at Ide Shoten. My fingers smell horrible. I was pretty stupid. It's often recommended that you eat it with your hands, and it looks like nigiri sushi, so I just went with my hands for the nare sushi. Also, I didn't see any chopsticks until I opened the package a little bit more, and then I saw the chopsticks. I used some alcohol to try and get the smell out, just the spray that they have, you know, hand sanitizer, which is available in any like convenience store or restaurant you walk in, and it just now smells like alcohol and nare sushi. Wash my hands, some aromatic soap, now it smells like soap and nare sushi. Anyways, it'll probably be gone by next year. But now let's do a recap of Ide Shoten, the ramen shop that invented, of course, Ide Shoten style of Wakayama ramen. Now, of course, in a lot of ways it blends together in terms of all the other bowls we've seen up to now. But I enjoyed it a lot. It was not as porky, not as funky as some of the other bowls, not nearly as grainy and sandy as yamatame, but still a good amount of pork funk, and you can still taste quite a bit of the soy sauce. So well balanced, even if it is a little bit more on the heavier side. What else can I discuss? All the other trimmings were there. We had the pink narutomaki, we had a lot of negi, adding some sweetness, a nice contrast too with that rich soup, and thin noodles. I decided to order a seasoned egg that actually came on the side, and some hayazushi, which was not smelly because this was not done in the nare sushi style. It was still pressed, and I'm a big fan of this sushi style. And like some of the other classic shops we visited on this Wakayama ramen tour, yeah, interior, you could feel the history, all that stuff, hole in the wall. And remember, a lot of these places, you need to say chuka soba, not ramen, because Wakayama basically calls it chuka soba. And I think that's gonna close out our Wakayama City ramen crawl. Went big yesterday, today a little bit lighter, even though it was super heavy if you consider the nare-sushi. Heavy experience, let's say. Surprised I didn't get kicked out of Ide Shoten smelling like I do. Oh my God, need to take a bath or have some sort of industrial cleaning job done to me, fingers included. And now I just got a little bit of time to kill. I am going down south, not Wakayama City technically, for that top-ranked ramen restaurant. Quite a commitment to get there, but I think this will be an appropriate send-off for Wakayama Prefecture as we close out Wakayama City right now. For our final ramen shop, we're going deep in the Wakayama countryside. And we're visiting a ramen shop called Men Dining Tsukinoya. They're highly praised to the point of being a shop on Tabelog's top 100 list for West Japan when it comes to ramen. I'm hoping they live up to this hype. Let's go to me on the ground. Alrighty, I am in the countryside now on this little country road in Arida. Arida is known for mikans, or tangerines. You can almost hear the banjos playing here as I make my way to Men Dining Tsukinoya. And after having washed my hands several times, maybe 4 times, I'm happy to say the smell in my fingers, not gone, but closer to being gone. Yeah, a little bit of a commitment to get out here. I took the local train, took about an hour, but I'm excited. Hope it lives up to the hype. The journey is a big part of it as the sun dramatically sets here in Arida. And again, I think a great way to close out Wakayama Prefecture. I keep saying that, but I end up extending my trip and the plans keep changing. Who knows what the last shop will eventually be, but pretty sure it's gonna be this one. Let's do it big. It is pitch black out here and little street light after several blocks without one. There is a bicycle behind me, like kind of creeping up towards me. That was super squeaky. It was so unsettling. I was like, God, am I being followed by some ghostly apparition on a bicycle? Okay, my God, I look like some sort of bust of some ancient Roman emperor. Like my shirt blends in with the background. I'm so pale. Here's my recap as I'm on the platform back to Wakayama. Yeah, that was a great bowl of Wakayama ramen. I think a fine ending to what has been a fantastic trip. And again, even though they're very stubborn about their ramen here, they basically do a very similar style from shop to shop, whether it's light or heavy. There are some tweaks too with the soup, but overall, very similar. And although from a ramen eating perspective, yeah, it does get a little redundant, I wouldn't have it any other way. When a ramen town or city or region is so stubborn about their ramen, that's a good thing. That's all they want to eat. Here, it's pork bone and soy sauce ramen or nothing. And this place basically took that concept, but with a certain level of fine tuning. The soup, it was hovering between light and heavy, the pork bones and the soy sauce, let's say sharing the front seat of that Wakayama Chuka Soba taxi. And the soup was so delicious as a result. They're using local pork for those pork bones, local soy sauce for the soy sauce, and it was like they choose the best ones. I don't know if it was just the beauty of the soy sauce or some sort of magical seasoning they're using, but you can tell that they were carefully spending time on the seasoning. I don't know, maybe it was MSG, whatever it was, that soup was addictive in a way that maybe the other ramen shops were not. Everything else is as you'd expect in Wakayama, except there were no fish cake in there, and it comes with an egg. So it doesn't look like a bowl of Wakayama ramen, but the soup and the thin noodles most certainly scream Wakayama. I was almost tempted to order another one just because, well, first of all, I'm still hungry. These thin noodles don't fill you up as much, and I went all the way there. But I was like, you know what? I had their signature dish. It's okay. I gotta kind of head to the next ramen city as well, and it's getting late over here. Didn't expect I would be visiting this place this late to begin with, so I think it's time we close our Wakayama ramen chapter here. And it was a dramatic close at Tsukinoya. That said, I hope you enjoyed this video and all the ramen we've had in Wakayama up to now. Let me know, what was your favorite bowl? Or even your favorite sushi? Would you try nare-sushi? Questions. Feel free to comment in the comments section below and follow along. We'll be continuing our Kansai ramen escapades in the next video in this series. Thank you for watching. Frank from 5AM Ramen wishing you all the best, and I hope to see you in the next video. And thank you, Wakayama.